It's rarely. Because listen, because I'm going up to the daily, okay, and I'm looking at the trend. I'm looking at logical points on the daily. I'm going up to the weekly, and I'm looking at, where's support and resistance. I'm looking at the overall trend. I'm going down to the 240-minute bar, and I'm seeing where the market is spiked down and where the logical points are here. I'm looking for the overall patterns. And then I'm going down to a 60-minute. I'm looking for the patterns on the 60-minute, basing that where the overall trend is. And then finally I go down when I'm ready to make a trade. If it's not an autopilot trade, I go down to the 15-minute bar. I wait for the market to close finally below the line if I'm trading below the line, and then trade below the low point here before I'm looking to get in. Okay, so I haven't tracked that. I'd have to go back and actually look at it. But what I would tell you is, with something as sensitive to the market as trying to figure out how often both orders get triggered, you have to know that is no way telling you what it's going to do in the future. You may have a period of time where you get whipped out of both sides of the trade 50% of the time, and then you could go a period of time where it never happens to you. I'm on the East Coast and can only trade the London session due to work. It really wears me out, and sometimes I'll be at the computer too tired to make a decision. That is not a good sign, my friend. You've got to watch that. That's why I don't trade London. So I go back to bed only to see if I place my trade. If I place my trade, it would have worked. Now, I know what you're thinking. I want to put the market into an easy box. Yeah, that was on my mind. In part, that is true. We all do, but I'm really looking for that small adjustment I can make to improve my trading and get me into more trades. Right now, I average between 7 and 11% gains monthly, but I think I could do better. Wow. Yeah, that is fantastic returns. 7 to 11% monthly. Come on. Congratulations. That is phenomenal. Here's my suggestion to you. Do that for a year and then go and modify it, okay? Please just do it for a year. Because let me tell you why. Because if you do that for a year, it would be so ingrained into your bones that when you do start to improve it, if something goes wrong, you can automatically fall back on what's ingrained in your bones. Okay? And let me just give you an off-the-cuff estimate. Let's say you're making, we'll say 9% a month now. And you do that for 12 months. Okay, now you have the skills that time has given you. All right? Now, my guess would be, in the next 12-month period, adding 3 to 4% on your gains would be about 75% likely if you did it this way. If you were making on average 9% now and you tried to change that, let's say you go 2 months, and you try and change that and up it by 3%, I would say that the likelihood drops down to about 30%. Probably a little bit less, maybe 27%. Why? Because the skills aren't there. I mean, that would be like taking the average high school student and putting him into a AAA college game. What's the likelihood of him actually performing at an optimal level? Let's say that high school student was, he was good. And, let's say he was in the top 10% of all high school students. Now, that may seem like a lot, but for those of you that are familiar with sports, you know right away that he is not going to play at the same level. So he'll go from top 10% in high school to what?